All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Matisse's light is going mad because we are on a madness.
So excited
ourselves.
to be on the channel. So excited.
More than you can believe. More than you can believe.
You can't believe it.
And it's good to have you, Matisse, man. Look, of course, we're in a mad run at the moment. 3 games in a row. That is quite mad for us. I know in the days before, that's probably just stock standard. But before we get things going, my bro, how you doing, man? How you feeling?
Very good, bro. Very good. It's good to be back to winning ways. 3 beautiful goals. And I can't wait for the next game, which is not the complete opposite of what I was saying 2 weeks ago. But now I'm just like, yo, bring Everton now. Bring them to us.
Bring them now. Today, we play.
I want them now, today.
Right
you know
now, 9:30 a.m. UK. Get it going. Nah, you're right, man. Before I was dreading, whenever Chelsea would play. And now it's like, you're right. It's a good vibe, man. It's a good vibe. All right. Let's get to the nitty gritty, as Eunice would say. I know Eunice is not there, but he's there in spirit, I'm sure, with us. Matisse, bro, 3-0, not 3-0, 3-1 victory for us. Nice standard victory. Obviously, people, if you've missed out on Matisse's review, it's in the description. We're not going to talk about the match in details because everyone sort of talked about it. We'll talk about all these nitty gritty stuff that's been happening post-match. First up, Matisse. Our boy Joao Felix, he's copping a lot of heat, bro. He is getting heat left, right, and center in social media, especially in Twitter. A lot of people are like, do you know what? Yeah, I'm not too bothered if we don't buy Joao Felix on a permanent. And I'm thinking, and I'll get your point, and let me just throw my perspective out there first up. I'm thinking, I dare you to not pick Joao Felix until the rest of the season. And let me know how that will turn out to be for Chelsea Football Club. Because for me, look, Matisse, yes, he's been missing some opportunities, but he's been unlucky too, man. He's hit the post 3 times. I think first time against Dortmund, second time against Leeds, yesterday as well. Yeah. And he's missing it by just a margin. Fine margin. The finishes are very good. It should have gone in. Yeah. But my perspective is, Matisse, look, I'm still calm about it. I want to see production till the end of the season because there's no point in having a player next season where we don't have enough goals and assists and everything aesthetically looks good. Yeah. I understand that. We're going to pay a lot of money for Joao Felix. But I have to say, Matisse, our attack ticks a lot because of this brother. The way he picks up the ball in half spaces, turns, drives, finds those passes. It's mad for me that people are saying, boo-hoo, don't really care about this player. I mean, what's your thoughts about Joao Felix, bro?
I think a lot of people didn't like Joao Felix before he came here in the first place. So already going,
I wonder why.
Well, Mode, I can't believe. Mode, I can't believe. I don't want to, but yes.
Double M. Shall we say double M?
I feel like a lot of people didn't like him already. So now they're being overcritical of him. If they can find any problem, they can go and dig extremely deep for this. Now, for me, there's no point talking about whether we should permanently sign him because the season's not over. He's on a loan deal until the end of the season. You don't know what Joao Felix is going to do towards the end of the season. That is going to potentially make you look very silly right now. For me, from what I've seen, yes, there's been some frustrating moments in terms of those finishes being hitting off the post, and he obviously gave the ball away for the goal. Probably should have stayed onside as well for the goal that he was offside, because for me, he can see the line.
There was no need for him to be offside.
Yeah, there's no need for him to be offside. Yeah. So, but for me, I'm still excited to watch him. I'm still excited to see him in the starting 11s. I'm still excited to see him play games because he's refreshing. And for me, he's been, like you said, unlucky. I think it's been fine margins. I think some games he's been really, really good. Some games he could have been better. But if you don't feel like he needs to be 100 million, 100%, I can hear where you're coming from, purely because we've got Nkunku coming in. We're going to get a striker. We've got the wingers. So, is there going to be space? But there's also a world where you could potentially play Nkunku and Felix and maybe in the same team, just behind. 100. We've seen Barcelona make that box midfield before. We've seen Chelsea at times make that box midfield before. Brighton as well make that box midfield. With the wing back, you could have Reece James and Chilwell as wing backs, moving on the flanks. Then you could have Nkunku and Felix just behind the striker. Basically, just play your 3-4-3. It's something that Potter may look at. I don't know if they're going to go and spend the money on him right now. It depends how much money it is, whether he's actually, worth spending that. But I do feel like people are doing their level-headed best to try and create this thing around Felix. And for me, it's like, I'm not really bothered. It's the same way I'm not bothered about Mudryk starting at the moment.
And we'll talk about that as well.
I just need points, bro. That's all I need is points.
Do you know what the crazy thing is, Matisse? Like, these people that are unnecessarily having a go at Joao Felix. Like, we're winning games, man. We're winning games. Focus on the wins now. Don't focus on what is potentially going wrong. It's not even going wrong with Joao Felix. It's going to click into gears. Yes, that goal that we conceded, of course, he was culpable for it. But as I said, Matisse, and I think you've already alluded on that, could we imagine moving into the Everton game and the games after? Yeah. Would you dare to drop him? Would you say, do you know what? I don't like your performances. You're dropped now.
He's not going to get dropped. I've seen somebody even compare him to Werner. I was like, did you see some of the misses that Werner was having? Like, Joao Felix, that lead strike, wonderful technique, hits the crossbar. The lob over the goalkeeper in the last game, the last game, again, good technique, hits the post. Werner wasn't doing that. Werner was at times missing open goals,
from literally a meter
five yards. Yeah. People try to lie. I don't like it. Don't lie.
Don't lie, bro.
Don't lie. There's no need to lie.
No need to lie.
We will see everything.
Absolutely, we see everything, and I don't know, man. Look, me personally, I don't want to bring this player in unnecessarily, but I see a lot of people like try and sort of justify the fact that Mason's not in the team. He's had some harsh criticism. Why aren't the criticism the same for Joao Felix? Why is that? And I'm like, dude, Mason hasn't played good for like almost 16 months. Mm-hmm. And you want to compare that with Joao Felix, who's literally just arrived. Like, let him play for 16 months.
That's people being extra desperate. That's what I'm saying. They're so desperate to start criticizing the player. Enzo, we're going to give him time, right? We're going to give Mudryk time. We're going to give Madueke time. We're going to give all these guys time. The guy that's on loan, oh my God.
No time.
Get into him immediately, because people already had their preconceived thoughts before he even came in. You saw the amount of heat that Felix used to get. He wasn't even playing for us. He's playing for Atletico Madrid, and people used to give him a ridiculous amount of heat because, you know what? And now Mr. Who is out of the team, they're even more annoyed. So they're going to give even more heat to whoever's taken his place.
And 3 out of 3 wins as well, Matisse, since he's not been around.
For me, this is why I do like Enzo a lot. But even if Enzo wasn't playing well and he was taken out of the team, I wouldn't be going crazy like this, because I just don't like to go too crazy with this player standing thing, man. It's just such a waste of time. Anybody could leave, anybody could arrive. Deal with it. This is football. This is what happens.
Bro, I hate the player stance, man. I hate it. Like, it sort of clouds your vision. You start really following the player as opposed to the club. But no, it's mad. All right, let's talk about the next particular player, Mudryk. I tweeted a few days ago, Matisse, when I said, hey, start Mudryk through the middle, because I'm not really enjoying Kai Havertz's performances. We'll talk about Kai as well. He's now putting two really good performances together. And finally, we get to see Mudryk. I know you had reservations to see Mudryk through the middle. He probably wouldn't have the capacity, the capabilities, big man, to carry out that performance that's required. And I think we saw that, but I didn't really bash him for it yesterday. Look, overall, I think he just did a job. You can clearly see that role is foreign to him. Luckily enough, Matisse gets himself that assist. Look, in this formation, it's very difficult because I can't imagine him playing the Sterling or Joao Felix role, because they're so comfortable in the half spaces to pick up the ball and turn and drive. I don't know if Mudryk has that. And I think this is why Graham Potter he actually took Havertz out to the right side, because Havertz probably has the ability to pick up the ball, hold up. His hold up's been pretty good, and look up and then pass. Those pass that Havertz played, that pass that he played for Joao Felix, which ended up hitting the post. I think he provided the pass for Mudryk, where he put the assist for Kovacic. So Havertz has that capacity to do that in the half spaces. Mudryk doesn't. I mean, I'm still going to be very patient with him. I've seen enough of Mudryk's quality, especially in that match against Liverpool, what he's capable of doing. So I'm willing to give him all the time. But if we continue with this formation, Matisse, where does he play
at the moment? To be honest, I wouldn't start him at the moment because I mean we saw yesterday, right? He looked better when he moved left. I agree with that comment there. But when he was in the middle, it was very frustrating when he was dropping deep. His touches were very heavy.
Very heavy. Yeah.
There was moments where he was trying to, kind of kick it and run past people when we was in our defense.
Did it make you feel like it was Werner?
It wasn't
dribbling like Werner.
It wasn't tidy. And again, very patient with him, but not really clamoring for him to start because I don't know this player well enough. Like I was very excited for Felix to arrive because I've seen a lot of him. I was
really
very
unknown
excited
about
for
this
Enzo.
player, huh?
I really didn't watch him at all too much, and him and Madueke, I just assumed were going to be developing, and they're going to have to, they're going to be the long game. They're going to have to go through the ups and downs. He hasn't been starting recently. Potter's kind of spoken about a comparison maybe with Cucurella and how he's managed him as well. And to be honest, via his performance, I can see why he hasn't been starting. Now, he was out of position, but in this formation, I agree with you. Would you play him in those tucked in 10 positions? I wouldn't. I would much rather have him right out on the flank, making those runs off the wide position, receiving the ball off the touchline. So, yeah, I think when Sterling is back, Sterling for me would be my favourite to go back in there. And I think that front three of Sterling, Felix, and Kai Havertz is the strongest front three at the moment.
And you'd potentially want Graham Potter to continue with that front three, just keep building the chemistry, keep building that, combination between them. No need to tinker around it, just give the minutes off the bench. And yeah, Mudryk at the moment just looks a bit foreign to any of those positions, and let him just slowly adapt to the situation. The price tag obviously is something that everyone is going to be trying to, be talking about. And finally, the 007 situation is now out of the question. Gets himself that assist. I mean, Matisse, you're not worried about Mudryk, right? Like, or somewhere in the back of your mind, you're having PTSD thinking, oh boy, if this doesn't turn out well down the track.
Nah. I mean, he also was what he nearly scored as well, didn't he? Running behind.
Yeah,
that was Enzo Fernandez was ridiculous.
No, he scored, didn't he? He
did score. Did a celebration. I was like, yes, this guy is finally off the mark. Unfortunately, gets given offside. There was a lot of offsides yesterday. We just need everybody to time their runs just a little bit better. Or the pass delayed. I don't know which one. And yeah, I mean, he was unlucky there. And obviously, he gets his assist. Thankfully, I think that's after we switched formation, isn't it? He moved out to the left.
Yeah.
Pulisic went to the right, and then went down the middle with who was down the middle at that point? Was it Kai?
No, Kai was.
No, it was Kai. Still Kai. Kai was floating.
Kai was really off the left. Sorry, on the right. So it was a bit strange. Maybe Pulisic was down the middle, to be honest, and then Mudryk sort of drifted out to the left.
Got his assist. His assist was really good when I watched it back because
off balance,
very difficult to control. Very difficult to control. So when it comes down to like him, I sympathize with him because he's playing out of position as well. Whereas Felix was playing in his strongest position and, like I said, give the ball away for the goal. So both of them had mixed games. Both of them could have scored. Yeah, take the good with the bad with those two. Kai Havertz was by far away our best attacker. That's all I know. It wasn't even close. That guy it was a strong performance from Kai Havertz.
Some of the passes he was stringing were fantastic. One thing I will say about Mudryk, that one particular pass from deep from Cucurella that he found to Mudryk, and then Mudryk sort of dribbled and then laid it off to Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who then first time crossed it in for Joao Felix. That was the offside goal. That was very tasty to see about Mudryk. But now, look, I'm not worried about Mudryk either. I'm staying patient. Let's talk about Enzo Fernandez next up, which is going to be interesting. But before we do that, T1, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Really appreciate this. If King Kai continues to flourish, are you all still want him to be sold? This looks different from the purple patches of previous 2 seasons. Looks more sustainable. We'll talk about Havertz, but my quick thought on it. Look, I love what he's doing for the past 2 games, but I'm calmer. I want to see more. I want to see more sustained consistency. But one thing I will say, Graham Potter loves this kid. I think it's quite evident. There's a reason why he just keeps starting him, and the way he talks about him, whether it's press conferences, post-match, pre-match, whatever, he truly believes in him. And recently, after the Dortmund game, Kai Havertz came out firing and battling for his manager. He said, "You think he's some sort of a Mickey Mouse manager or something? This guy's good." So there could be something going there, man. Like whether even if we want him or not, I think Graham Potter is going to fight for him, and I think Kai Havertz will want to keep him. All right, Matisse, Enzo Fernandez. Do you know what? There are times where the first probably about 20, 25 minutes, I didn't even notice him. But he was still doing a lot. Like he was intercepting, he was getting into duels.
Yeah.
Like every time post-match when Mozo, PYS or Chelsea Dodgers tweet out all his stats, I'm like, wow, I didn't even notice some of these.
It doesn't never surprise me though. It really does never surprise me. This guy, bro, was a pass master at Benfica.
Racks up the interceptions, racks up the ground duels, racks up the long passes. And you're thinking, where was I when I was watching the match? How come I didn't see that? Bro, tell me how sublime was that pass? I mean, do we have
which one?
So many.
Which one?
Many.
Bro,
so many.
This guy's passing. This is why I was desperate. I was desperate for us to get this guy. When I was talking to Rabona TV, Adrian, you know him well. When I was watching that, when I was talking to him about this guy at Benfica, and I was, do you know what? I sat there and I was like, whoa, I deeped it because I wasn't obviously in my chat. These guys sometimes they be bringing names to me. I remember, I think it was this guy called Adrian, and I was doing a live stream on Twitch. And it wasn't not Rabona TV. This is different Adrian in my chat, and he brought Enzo Fernandez to me, and he said, "Oh, you need to check out Enzo. You need to," and he kept saying it for weeks on end. He's like, "Oh, you need to." I was like, "Bro, I don't have time to watch Portuguese football right now." You know what I'm saying?
I'm focused on Declan Rice.
And then I watched the game, and then I was like, "Whoa, this guy's really good." I was like, "You know what? Let me just chill here," because then I went to check out the statistics. And I went to look at all the underlying metrics. I said, wow, this guy's crazy. Like in the Portuguese league, he's killing it for the long balls. And now we're seeing it here. This guy's passing, long range passing is mad. This guy's vision and the picture that he sees is crazy. And let's make it very clear. We were not playing these passes when we had Timo Werner up front.
No.
When we had Lukaku up front, we weren't playing.
Can you imagine, bro?
Can you imagine if we were playing these passes, bro? Things could have turned out so differently. This guy's vision and then his actual application is ridiculous. The pass that he played for Kai for the goal is just it's just nasty, bro. That scoop pass, honestly, no one even celebrated. We were like, "Bro, did that actually just happen? Surely it's offside."
Matisse, you can't defend that. You can't defend that. What defenders are meant to do that? Like, what are
bro, there's nothing you can do. What are you gonna do? Grow? Eat your sweet corn? Get taller? Nothing you can do, bro. What are you gonna do? Become a giant, bro? There's nothing you can do.
You can't coach how to defend that. You really cannot coach.
Obviously, Mudryk got the assist, but the pass in the build-up play to that, the outside the right boot. Round the corner for Kai.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, bro. Honestly, this guy, as soon as we get him somebody who's more defensively minded in that midfield, because when we play the three at the back, I think him and Kova are managing it. They're managing it. But if we was to ever go to a 4, I don't want to see Enzo playing in the 6. I want to see Enzo playing in the 8. Maybe a cheeky Andre Santos in the 8 in the future and get that sitter as well.
Argentinian Brazilian connection. Why not, bro? South America salsa, bro. Let's do it.
Damn, bro.
By the way,
I'm so
Andre
excited.
Santos is doing really well in basketball.
Yeah, he's doing brilliantly, bro. He's doing brilliantly. The thing is, with Andre Santos, again, I'm going to be patient. It's going to take time when he comes over. Maybe in the summer, but. He's kind of built like Bellingham in a way. People talk about Bellingham, obviously just played against him. No need to be spending no 120 million. We've already bought someone ridiculously cheap from that tournament who did a brilliant under-20s tournament. He's now probably worth double what we paid already. You know, people are talking about Lavia. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's put that midfield together. And I'm telling you, Enzo Fernandez is one of those key pieces. Brilliant. And people were, questioning. Rivals were questioning why we spend so much money on him, etc. You look at players like Kevin De Bruyne at Man City. You look at players like Thiago at Liverpool who can pass a ball beautifully as well. We've never had that in recent years. He is that guy. So buzzing to have him, man. Yeah, bro. To be honest, bro. Not everybody can play these passes. It's not everybody that can play these passes. If he's playing these passes, he's been doing it for quite a while. I can say that. I've seen them clips, and this guy does this for fun. He loves it.
Bro, it's a cheat code, man. Whenever
It's a
those
cheat code.
like low blocks, we haven't really come across any low blocks as yet. Teams are trying to come at us because they think we're vulnerable, and we are vulnerable. But when we proper next season, like showcase that now we're the real deal, and teams will sit back on us and look for counters predominantly. I think that's gonna be tasty because I challenge them. Sit back as much as you want. You won't even see that dink over the top, and then someone like, I don't know, Nkunku at the end of it, someone like Havertz at the end of it, someone like Joao Felix. Joao Felix already against West Ham. That was a lovely ball from Enzo Fernandez again. West Ham defense had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
You've talked about the midfield, right? Let's touch a little bit about this because one brother, Kovacic, since he's taken up the captaincy, I don't know, man. I think the team feels a little bit more galvanized as well. I know Thiago Silva is injured. He's potentially going to come back and be captain. Azpilicueta obviously is the real captain, who's not part of the team at the moment. I don't know whether he's still harnessing that injury that he took a couple of games ago. I think it might have been against Leeds. Matisse, I don't know, man. I know there was a lot of talk about Reece James. There was a lot of talk about Sterling. I'm okay with Cover. Like he's a warrior. He's a warrior.
Bro, I'm getting used to it. It's all right. I like this. Like when I saw him wearing it for the first time, because Kepa got it as well towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
And when Cover walked out with the armband, I said,
Looks like a boss man, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. Let's see how this goes. The only issue with Cover, because I've always rated Cover, and Cover forever will be a quality player, and I love it. I love nothing more than when people start to doubt him and doubt his quality, and then they just get a slap in the face. Yo, shut up. Yeah, this guy is a quality player. I've said it from day dot. He's always been a quality player. My only worry with him is now injuries, because I've been hoping and praying that he's not going to become injury prone, but then he's just continued to keep picking him up. I've had to admit, this guy is definitely susceptible to injuries. Yeah. But if they're giving Kante that new contract as well with those injuries, again, if he can, I would love Kante to retire from the national team today, please.
Bro,
if Kante can just retire from the national team, then my confidence in him being fit will go up. Good couple of levels, and then I'm you know what, I'm cool because we lost Jorginho and we need to keep a little bit of experience here. And when these two are playing at their best and they're fit, we saw him against Tottenham, obviously Kante way back when. These guys are quality players. So again with Cover, he just needs to stay fit. If he can stay fit, because you can't be consistent, and people were judging him very harshly once he come back from an injury and he wasn't playing brilliantly. But again, he's coming back from injury, so of course he's gonna take a while to get up to speed. But this is why he needs to stay fit. So, but this guy, he's so press resistant, Miz. The way he receives the ball in the first phase, and he's not even fast like that. He just walks his way through players, and I saw moment,
bro. He
just glides. Shrewsbury Hall was looking up to the heavens. He was like, bro, what do you want me to do? He's looking, bro. Kovacic just in the second half, when we was keeping possession in the 4, Kovacic just gliding through him. Shrewsbury Hall's just looking at him like, bro, what am I meant to do?
He's gliding away from me, bro.
What was that? He's a quality player. And I promise you, if we let him go to Manchester City and he can keep fit, finished. We are finished.
Pep Guardiola will love this guy. Pep will love this guy. And the movement they have over there with the players, he will feast, bro. I'm liking the combination between him and Enzo as well. I want that to continue. I don't want Potter to sort of break that up. Yeah. I know at times it does look like it's a little bit open. Sometimes, like yesterday as well, there were moments where it looked like, who did we play, bro? What's the thing?
Leicester.
Leicester.
It looked because like Maddison and Shrewsbury Hall come inside, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like they were just going through. There was a phase once it was 1-1, but I still want this to continue, man. Look, Kovacic, for me, definitely has a position. My only thing was, Matisse, I'm so glad he scored the goal yesterday. My only problem was, Kov, I do want to start seeing you pick up a few more assists, a few more goals here and there, because you need to challenge yourself. I know it's not your responsibility to do that. It should be the front people and others. But if you can chip in with that goal, that third goal, Matisse, made you feel good, huh? That final goal. Like,
it was beautiful. It was wonderful. I think with him, it would be great if he could almost turn himself into more of a defensive midfielder, because he's so good in the first phase, and we always question him in the final phase. There's only one answer, right? You know, you're
Just
great at
play in the first
the
phase.
build-up play.
Yeah.
You're brilliant at getting us through any sort of press in the first phase. If you can rack up them tackles and interceptions and develop some sort of positional awareness even more in the latter stage of your career, maybe there's some sort of adaptation for you there, because we've seen midfielders, you know, move positions throughout their later years. So it would be great. It would be great to see that for him. But yeah, I think for him, and also let me mention Gallagher when he came on, because Potter,
Yes,
that switch. I mean, do you know what? When it was such a weird time, because Felix got hacked down a bit in the first half a couple times. That should have been sent off. Ricardo
should have been sent off, bro.
Jesus.
Ricardo Pereira, that was disgusting.
Bro,
that was
the referee,
ankle breaker, bro.
and that's maybe slightly why I didn't go too hot into his performance, because I feel like he caught a disgusting challenge very early on in the first 10 minutes, and I feel like he may have been carrying that, if anything, a little bit in the first half.
I think he would have. Yeah,
he came off for Gallagher. He changed it to a 3-5-2. Later on, he went to a 4-3-3, and I was slightly worried about it, because I was like, this might be too defensive too soon. Like, we usually do this around the 65th, 70th, 75th minute, and if we bring him on this early, and then we just look to soak up pressure at 2-1, the inevitable, we're going to concede.
We're going to concede, yeah.
But he cleared a ball off the line that was crucial. Massive. When we were looking, and that's, I think, just before we started changing the system, he made a massive clearance off the line. If he wasn't there, and again, to be honest, if it was someone else that would have come, or maybe an attacker, I highly doubt that attacker would have been there. No chance.
Yeah.
You know, only he would have been there. Massive block off the line.
Do you know what, Matisse? Gallagher, for the first time yesterday, it looked more controlled. Like, every time he'd come on, it looked like he's on some sort of drugs, man. Like, he's like buzzing. He's like, he's running. It was so much more controlled, everything that he did. Almost as if to say, maybe Graham Potter sat down with him and said, dude, you don't need to try too hard. Like,
just keep it simple.
Keep it simple. You're in my plans for the time being. Enjoy the moments, coming off the bench and doing a job for me. You know, Gallagher is our Mykhailo. This is something that was floating around in social media as well yesterday with Vince. He started doing that. Look, not sure about the Mykhailo comparison, but he is doing a job. There's no doubt about that. I think
he's saying that's what the substitution signifies, isn't it, or something like that?
The vibe, the same vibes, I suppose, bringing him in. And we will talk about Graham Potter very, very soon. The one more other player that I want to talk about is Kai Havertz. You know, Matisse, now 2 back-to-back games. Yesterday, Ryan, you know very well who Ryan is, who features in my channel a lot. He said something very interesting. And it goes something like this, Matisse. He said, look, even though we didn't appreciate the type of football, the performances that Kai Havertz was delivering, playing through the middle as a false 9, actually not even false 9, I think proper as a number 9, he was starting to play like that. I think the things that he probably developed over the years is how to be a little bit more physical, make sure that when there's defenders around him, how to be a little bit more solid. And now that he's playing a little bit deeper, he seems to be a lot more comfortable. And then I don't see him getting dispossessed so easily anymore. I don't see his sort of link up, and his combination play has gotten better. 2 back-to-back games now we've seen against Dortmund and against Leicester. Against Dortmund, he was a lot deeper from the left side. Against Leicester, he was on the right side. Passing seems to be exquisite. Like, there seems to be a lot of time in his hand now. Have we? I don't know. Look, as I said, I don't want to guess too much. Have we turned a corner with this guy? Has Potter just realized that maybe you're better just a little bit? Maybe start from top, but then come deeper to pick up the ball, where you seem to be a lot better in those areas, and then join in on the attack later in the piece. Have we perhaps turned a corner on him? What's your thoughts?
I hope. This guy,
more than you can believe.
He's the most confusing player you'll ever see, because he continues to keep playing with you. He's almost toying with you, because, and I maintain, this is a very big season for him. He needs to go up a gear, right? He needs to show why we absolutely have to keep a hold of him, with the likes of Nkunku coming in, new striker, just for him to keep his position in the team. And then now he's starting to give us these performances, but we need it consistently. I need it over the stretch of 10 games, not just 1 week. So I'm still wanting that consistency. But from what I've seen in the last couple of games, it's everything you want to see from him. It's the aerial duels that he was winning against Dortmund. It's the quality of the finishing against Dortmund. He was unlucky not to have more goals. It's the passing that we saw at Bayer Leverkusen, where he's dropping into the right channel and making those wonderful switches. Wonderful passing. Set up Felix, I think, for one of the chances.
Just one that Felix hit the post.
Just really, really good from him. And this is what we were seeing at Bayer Leverkusen, is some sort of creativity. Correct. And especially dropping into that left channel now with the two right footers behind him, it's almost like that position becomes vacant for him. And that might be also why Madueke is not really playing, because he would be trying to cut into the same areas. Whereas when that space is vacated with a Sterling, with a Mudryk, with a Felix, he's the only left footer. So it's like, no, you kind of have to go out. Naturally, just have to drift out to that right position for the sheer balance of the team. So we have an option out there. And it's brilliant to see, man. I think everybody really desperately wants Kai to work out, because everybody threw their stocks in. He costs so much money. And when he's at it, it's so silky. He's wonderful to watch. Great in the tight spaces. He was involved in one of the goals against Dortmund where he did that back heel. This is what we want. This is
Sterling's goal.
This is what we want to see. But we need it consistently, because if we're going to challenge for Premier League titles in coming years, and he's going to be a starting player in that starting 11, then he's got to be consistent. But clearly, he's got a great relationship with Potter. He seems to be backing him all the way, which is great. Seems to love playing with Felix as well. They've got a little friendship going. Sterling, so there's positive signs. There's positive signs. I just want him to keep it up. Just keep doing what you're doing. I hope that we stabilize that attack. We don't make too many changes. So as much as people are not happy with Felix, he seems to love playing with him at the moment. So I would leave him in there. Do you know what I mean? Because what I don't want us to do now is, I'm sick of Felix, so throw in Mudryk. And then,
it's going to look
Mudryk's not playing too. Throw in Madueke. And now we're playing players out of position. And on top of that, because these guys, but on top of that, now we're ruining the connection for Kai Havertz. Remember when we almost started Fofana in one of the home games as well? Took out Kai.
Exactly.
Just leave it, and it didn't really do anything because we didn't win the game. We didn't go anywhere with that. Just leave it how it is. Let them keep getting their chemistry. If Felix is not playing well enough, cool. Let him kind of work into that form, because Kai likes playing with him. Kai's on form with him. So just don't mess that up now. Don't get too happy and try to keep changing things, because if Kai's developing a chemistry with Felix and Sterling,
continue.
Then leave it. Don't throw in all these new guys now to start confusing the because they're not going to play the role the same way. We already know that.
And that's the key word right there, role. This is why we're going to transition into Graham Potter now. And a lot of the live chat, but by the way, big up to the live chat. Nearly 500 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button, number one. And by any chance, if you're not subscribed to Matisse, you should have been already. But by any chance, if you're not, his handle's on the title. And also later on, once this is finished, check out Matisse's review. If you haven't seen it, it's in the description right now. I know a lot of the live chat wants us to talk about many other players. We could literally sit here forever and talk about the rest of the team, but time constraints, ladies and gentlemen, time constraints. And I'm happy to talk about all the other players some other time, especially Cucurella and Kepa. Of course, we can talk about that. But Matisse, Graham Potter, what you just said, role. I feel when he took off Joao Felix, he could have easily put, I don't know, Madueke or someone else, Ziyech, to say, now you play the Joao Felix role. Go out there and play Joao Felix. And we know very well Madueke is not Joao Felix. Ziyech is not Joao Felix. So no point in asking them to play a role that either Sterling or Joao Felix plays. Because for me, there's two big players in our team that play that half space role really well. That's Sterling and Joao Felix. And obviously Havertz does come into it. But what the thing that Havertz probably doesn't have that those two players have is that explosive nature of bursting through with the ball, driving with the ball. Havertz can drive, but it sometimes looks like the pace is not always there, which is fine. He can still manage to do that. And this is why I feel like he brought in Gallagher in the second half to say, hey, just shore up the midfield. You don't need to do Joao Felix's role. Just shore up the midfield. And then when he saw that, oh, wait a minute, Leicester's coming at us, and if I continue this way, they could potentially equalize, let me switch things up, brings in Pulisic, tactical flexibility with Kukurea, puts him in left back, takes Chilwell off, brings in Pulisic on. I mean, Matisse, I'm starting to see and like what Graham Potter's doing recently.
Bro, he's proactive now.
He's more proactive, and he's barking orders, and it's
coming over and clapping the fans. Yeah.
Talk to me, bro. How you feeling about Graham Potter, bro?
This "you must" mentality was so needed, and look what it's done. Because we were just going through the motions, and I'm telling you, if the pressure, I'm not talking about the fan base, because if the pressure had been applied by Todd earlier, we would have had more wins. I'm telling you, we would have had more wins on the board, because that has been the moment of the change. I can't just sit here and pretend like as if this has just come out of nowhere. As soon as his job was out at risk, he suddenly finds the formation that worked prior when he first came in. He suddenly changes everything, and he's like, hold on, shit, I actually must. Like, this is not a joke anymore.
The fans have been moving 1,000 kilometers an hour.
The fans have been saying you must. You know, Eunice and Miz and everybody, you know, you must. And then, you know, the Twitter spaces, Todd's been in, you must. And now the fans are starting to turn on me. The people in the crowd are saying you must. Toby on the Big Six saying you must. Don't worry about all that. Todd and Egg Bally said you must. Shit, what do you mean you must? Yeah, Graham, by the way, you need to beat Leeds. And
I thought I had a 5-year contract. Come on, what do you mean? What does that mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean I have to beat Leeds and Dortmund? I thought I had the whole season, and then no, change of plan. Oh, change of plan. All right, cool. Yo, run the back three. Come, run the back three. Let's go. Run the 3-5-2. Run the 3-5-2. Run the 3-6-1 at home to Leeds with 20 minutes to go. Give me the 3-6-1. Bro, he was not doing this. He was not doing this against Southampton at home. He was not doing this against Tottenham. He was not doing this against West Ham. He was still trying to play his way. He was still trying to, you know, if we win, we win. If we XG, we XG. Today, these last 3 games, it's been, if you don't win, go home. Do you know what I mean? And to be honest, pressure makes diamonds, as they say, and they say it for a reason, because a lot of the time when humans are at their pressure point, that's when they perform. When they know that it's absolute needs must, that's when they come up with something serious. So for me, this is why we kind of need to keep this pressure going a little bit and say, you need to keep winning these games, because we're at a deficit. We're 10th. We didn't even move up of the position last season. If any Chelsea fans, I said it at the end of my review, if any Chelsea fans need humbling and need calming down after maybe getting really excited, go look at the Premier League table, and it will humble you. It will humble you fast.
Back-to-back wins, and we're still 10th.
We're still 10th. We have now a 1+ goal difference. Brentford are ahead of us with a game in hand. If you need humbling, if you need calming down, if you need being brought back to reality, it takes 2 seconds. Go and look at that Premier League table, and it will calm you down. Life change. Life hit you. Different, bro. You know, life is different, but not for us yet, because we're still 10th.
Not for us yet.
So, bro, for me, do you know what I mean? This is in the making now for a few games, but thank God he's finally got it together. And to go between 3 systems in one match is exactly what he was kind of hired for. This kind of tactical flexibility, proactiveness with the subs, going to a back 4, bringing on Trevor Chalobah.
Feeling the moments, Matisse. Feeling the moment that I'm feeling danger. I'm feeling danger. I need to change something because I can sense there's an equalizer coming. And he did it on the spot when he felt it, when the fans felt it. Because you know, Matisse, when you were doing the watch along, like, I can feel an equalizer coming. Potter, change something, brother. Change something. And he did. Bro, we got the 3rd goal.
It wasn't so long ago we needed a goal and Mason Mount was playing up front, bro. It wasn't so long ago.
On my days.
We needed a goal and the strikers weren't coming on. In fact, a striker was removed and Sterling was left up top with Datra Fofana and Aubameyang on the bench. It's not so long ago that this shit was really happening in 5K. 10K actually. 10K for the 10th. Bro. So I don't want anybody to be like, oh, you know, I said it at the end of my video. Oh, I was right. Or you was wrong. No, everybody's justified. I said it on my own channel when I was at any stage of this situation with Potter, when I was still willing to give him time and I was debating it with Eunice and All You Can Eat Chelsea, when I had my own breaking point with Southampton, when the board nearly had their own breaking point against Dortmund if he didn't win. if the board are almost at their breaking point, there is absolutely no reason for anybody to sit there and say that the fans who are more emotionally connected and less, maybe business minded in this, right? No reason at all for anybody to go at any fan who's starting to get a little bit rattled by these performances.
Bro, our record was 2 out of 16, Matisse.
Exactly.
On,
so I don't give a damn what happens from this point. Ain't nobody ever gonna be able to tell me, oh, you jumped the gun too soon, because at the end of the day, the board were literally right there with us with one more game in them. So, but it's not about that. It's about now just being buzzing for him that he's actually getting back to winning ways. So happy that he's got back to winning ways. I want him to go on a nice winning run if he can, see the season out in a positive fashion, because like I said, it doesn't suit us to change manager. It doesn't. This is something that we would have to do with regret. We would be the laughing stock. We would be the laughing stock if we had to sack him. We
need him to turn it around.
We need him to. Yeah, especially when the players like him. The players like him, so that's great. I don't think any manager in Chelsea history I've ever seen go on a run like that and still have the players with them. That's shocking. That's great. It's great, but you got to get results. You got to get results. So it's good to have this win. It's brilliant, but we need to beat Everton now. I'm taking it, like I said to you all week, 2 games. I just need 2 wins. And then after the international break, Aston Villa. Next 2 games, 2 wins, 6 points. And then we see where we go from there. When Liverpool lost to Bournemouth, I was so angry because I was like, we should be in the top 4 race.
See, this is what I was saying to you the other day in All You Can Eat Chelsea, that these brothers are dropping points. And when we were dropping points against Southampton and West Ham and all, we're like, oh, man, we should be capitalizing on their mistake. The fact that they dropped points and we won and we're still 5 points behind them, it really, really does annoy me. But we still got some games now. We just see what happens.
Now we just have to win and hope that they let us back in the group chat. That's all it is.
They let us back in. Come on, bring us back in, bro. You must let in.
That's all we can do. But it's like, make no mistake with Potter. He still has things to prove. He's beaten Leeds.
100.
He's beaten Leicester. That's fantastic.
100.
I'm buzzing for you. Like I said, nothing would make me happier for this man to almost, make a connection with the fans. Prove everybody wrong and rise to the creme de la creme. But you still have to travel to Arsenal. You still have to travel to Manchester United. You still have to travel to Manchester City. You still have to play Liverpool, Newcastle, Brentford, Brighton, all at home. There are big games coming. And I need to see a better record against the top 6 teams than I saw in the beginning of your reign.
Go out there and upset some of them.
So this is why I'm saying I'm taking the wins. I'm praising as we go along, but there's much more points to pick up. There's much more challenges ahead. And if we were to draw a Real Madrid, you got to go up against a Carlo Ancelotti potentially. Let's see who.
And his eyebrow, bro. His eyebrow.
Yeah, and his eyebrow. So there's so much challenges ahead. Now we're gonna see. What you're really about. Do you know what I mean? So, because to be honest, we're expected to win these games, and we should be in the last 8 of the Champions League with the squad that we have. These are all what we should be doing. We should not be going out in the last 16. We should not be losing at home to Leicester.
It's nothing to celebrate. It's a natural thing.
I'm happy for the players, because when you're seeing these celebration pics and you're seeing goals going in, it's like, wow, this is really foreign to me, because I've not celebrated goals, but I'll take this. Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant. I love it, but it's nothing to get too crazy about, because we're meant to be doing this. This is normal. Yeah. This is meant to be normal. Do you know what I'm saying?
Service. It's normal service.
Exactly. When we go and play these big teams, it's gonna be hopefully good for us. Hopefully we're gonna go over there and pull off some surprises. But if we're gonna move up the table, we actually kind of have to take those points off those teams now. We put ourselves in a position where if anybody even wants to think about finishing in those higher positions, you have to beat Liverpool. You have to beat Arsenal. You have to take these points. We're at a deficit. You know what I mean? We have a lot of catching up to do. So that's how it is.
Yeah, bro. I would love to crash some of their parties, bro. What a great feeling it would be to crash Arsenal's party and see Manchester City leapfrog them. What a feeling it would be to get a victory against Man United and potentially, I don't know, have ourselves in the mix in the top 4. We'll see what happens. As Matisse would say, one game at a time. But I loved as well what Chilwell said post-match. We must win against Everton. Chilwell is the real dog in this squad, bro. He is the real legit. His performances, he scored a goal yesterday. This guy's the real mentality monster.
His
Richie,
goal
thank you
was
so much.
ridiculous.
Bro, his goal was brilliant, and it had to be him at Leicester, didn't it?
Yeah.
And he deserved it, bro. He deserved it. The past couple of matches has been awesome. Richie, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Where is Chelsea going to finish in the table? Look, I'd like to think we can put up a twist in the story at the end, but we'll see. Look, I'll take a sixth finish from here.
Yeah,
on. If we
top
finish
sixth, we need to.
I think that's nothing to be ashamed about. From where we have been in this particular season. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap things up. It's been a pleasure having Matisse on the channel. It's been a while since I had, because obviously we have All You Can Eat Chelsea. That's why I'm yeah, sure. But I'm going to try and bring the boys on more often on the channel. I think it's interesting to have, as I said to Eunice last week, more interesting to have these intimate conversation, 1v1, do you know what I mean? One-on-one, 1v1 demons, do you know what I mean? So it's going to be good. Matisse, bro, let us know. Do you have anything planned today? Any watch-alongs? You doing the Arsenal match?
Yeah, Fulham versus Arsenal, I think it is, and United versus Southampton.
You doing double?
A double header, yeah.
Both soon you're going to start doing triple, aren't you? You have like 3 screens open.
Listen, if match of the day aren't running,
someone's got to pick up.
Somebody better clean up after this mess. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that. I didn't even see it. I saw it was only on for 20 minutes yesterday. They didn't have any commentary. They didn't have anybody doing any punditry.
Are they going to finish up?
I don't know. They were just playing the goals. I see the same thing on YouTube hours prior. So if they're shutting down, you know what I mean. I think I see a gap in the market. So yeah.
Only Matisse can take over that gap. That's for sure.
God.
Ladies and gentlemen, smash up the like button before you go. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Make sure you subscribe to my second channel as well. Dropped a Barcelona video earlier today. Check that out. Interesting, all the corruption that is happening there. Real stuff. That club, more than you can believe. It's the best club that this can happen to. Make sure you subscribe to Matisse. And if you missed out on his review, it's in the description right now. Go check that out. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.